welcome Miss Dawn here. She is a Colorado Springs agent and also the director at Fathom Realty. Hi, Dawn.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you've got a lot of different hats going on, so share a little bit about that.
Well, personally, we'll start with that. I have been married 23 years to my husband, Nick. He is a nurse, so he has a little crazy job. We have three kids, one turning 21 next week, 17, a senior, and then we thought it would be fun to start over, and we have a 6-year-old. So it is kind of crazy and busy around our house of all the different generations of different seasons of life. And it's been like that now for the last 6 years. So it's a little crazy. In the real estate world, I do personal production. That's one thing that's just really, that's still my heart of this business is doing production and helping people. And then also I'm the district director for Fathom here and oversee about 80 agents here locally, just helping them with, creating culture as well as compliance and keeping everybody up to snuff when it comes to just their contracts as well as just their attitude sometimes. We know that this business isn't always easy.
It's been hard lately, right? I know there's been kind of changes and all that stuff. Like, how are you feeling as a in a leadership role?
I think the thing is one thing that I think that's been helping me is I'm not freaking out till we need to freak out. In an essence of, there's just so many things that are going on and none of us have a crystal ball, just like we didn't see COVID coming. We didn't see the effects of COVID before that. We don't see what the effects are going to be positive or negative, what's going on in the market, what's going on in the industry. And so until I feel like we need to worry about it, I think we need to be mindful and be educated and make the changes accordingly, but not to panic. So for me,
Love
I'm
that.
really just kind of keeping my head to the grindstone, just doing what I can do, taking one client at a time, helping them make the best decisions possible. Yeah, because I think that still goes to my clients. Even like there's some people it's still a good decision to buy right now, some it's not. So I think the more that we're just focused on what we're doing right now instead of worrying about all the other things has at least kept my business kind of consistent, even though, yeah, there might be a slowdown, but I'm not stopping and I'm not spending a lot of energy wasting it on things outside of my control.
Yep. I love that. I love that so much because it's all about education, right? Like, what are you doing to educate yourself and, like you mentioned, your clients on the current state of the market, what they can and can't do, maybe creative financing, and then on the agent side, because you manage so many agents, like educating them on how their business might need to pivot, not to panic. We can all make it through. So,
Yeah. I have always a theme. It's not necessity like part of my job description, but it started last year when we kind of started to see some changes. I make a theme for every year. And last year it was no agent left behind. And I really just wanted to make sure that I was creating and everything that I was doing when it comes to meetings and putting things out there, that I was trying to help them get to that next stage or keeping like, if you want to stay in this business, I'm not going to leave you behind. So, giving those things. And then next year's going to be better together. I already picked my theme for 2024 is the people that are staying in this business. Let's work together to become better. Not all, we're always seen as a competitive industry, but what does that look like if we work together on different projects and stuff instead of being like cutthroat? And what
mhm.
will that do at least for our Fathom agents and our team here?
It's so important. And there's so many agents that just totally forget that if you want to be in this long term, you're probably going to be on the other side of this deal with that same agent over and over again. I know my first job as an assistant many years ago, the agent I work for, that's what she taught me. And that was like the biggest thing I took away from working for her was like, you always have to bring kindness to every deal. You want to make friends with the other person because you want to know what's going to happen later on. They're going to help you. That's only going to help you. You shouldn't be just like cutthroat and try to beat everyone up.
Yeah, you get a lot farther with honey than vinegar. It's kind of one of the mottos. But it's so true. Like I see some people that feel like, twisting an arm is going to get the deal done. I've had more offers accepted because of how my reputation is and how I've dealt with clients in the past, agents in the past, or even difficult situations. Sometimes we cannot control the situations that we're put in. They're just hard. And
hmm
how we do that and how we respond, I think says a lot, not only about your business, but your character. And people want to work with people like that. I mean,
Yep.
it
Yeah.
it fortunately makes a difference. And I actually put that in my list when I'm meeting with buyers and sellers that, hey, I'm a win-win agent. I am not your cutthroat agent. Like this is how I negotiate. This is how I come onto my approach. And it's actually a big part of how I've been successful and why a lot of people hire me. But it also knows that they know that it doesn't mean cutthroat. Now the great thing is my clients usually win up against something, but it's just kind of one of those things that's nice. Like, hey, you usually do win with kindness.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely do. I mean, and so that kind of leads into my other question. So, the Sunshine Team and loving on your people, I really feel like that's one of the main reasons why you're successful in this business is you truly, truly love on your people. So tell me a little bit about that and like why that's important to you and how you've seen that help your business.
So for me, and kind of part of it, I mean, there's a lot of things that come into is like who you are as a person. And so when it kind of came down to a, I was at a pivotal point in my career with deciding if I was going to stay in real estate or get out. You know, I was doing fine, but I'm like at the same time, it was right after I had my last one and just like, is this something I want? Do I want this business and stuff? And me and my husband really sat down and kind of just dived deep into what was really important and what was I really after. And I always like to go to the question is if you didn't have to work, what would you do? What is your end goal in life? And mine's really simple. I want to do random acts of kindness for people. Like not attached to anything, not anything. Like I love that. That's my favorite thing to do. Even the other day I bought hot cocoa for the lady next to me at the Browns game. Clearly she didn't need me to buy it, but I just did it, and it was just like I'm like, no, it's Christmas. Like I just want to do something nice. And that's just a big thing about who I am, what I do long term. And so I figured out why did I want to resonate that into my business. And the reason why I wasn't sure I wanted to get into real estate, but my husband said you could be something different. And so taking those things of being something different in real estate versus the cutthroatness or just being like another salesperson and really caring apart with just wanting to love on people without anything in the things. That's where the Sunshine Team kind of came from. Works out too that my name is Dawn. And, and just bringing light to real estate, bringing something different into an industry. And not that there's not other great people out there, but that is really my focus of my business is making sure that everybody, feels that warmth and love. Like you don't come into my client and just feel like a transaction. You become part of my family and you're become a close friend. And as the years go by, it's starting to get bigger and bigger. My family, which is hard because I can't connect with people like I used to. But I really try hard to, in the moment of them making that really crucial decision, whether it be sometimes good or bad, sometimes we have hard things, that I'm just there 100% and they fully feel that I'm present.
Mm-hmm. You've actually had a few different of your clients live with you, haven't you?
I think I think my husband said no, like from here on out. Yeah, we've had multiple clients live with us. I'd actually have to go back and count, but yeah,
You have to
I
count? Oh my gosh, I thought it was like an easy two. You're like, I have
no,
to go
no.
count.
And if I'm not gonna lie, I might have offered last week to let some other clients come live with us. So don't tell my husband.
Well, I mean, I've totally done that too. And my husband was like, that's a hard no. Like, that is a hard no. They are not coming here. He's like, they need to go elsewhere. It's just hard. Because I feel like
Yeah,
you do connect with these people on like such a deep level because some are going through tough times, some are going through really happy times. You kind of just want to go like help them as much as possible. So it's kind of hard. It's funny. He's like, no, no more.
I know. We joke around that we need to have like just a house just for short-term rental to let people have a place. But again, like we have done the transition and people let us stay with them and we've been in hotels multiple times also in transitions. And so I think it's just another way to serve things. Like literally nothing in my life is off balance to help you be able to get to where you need to be. And
Hmm.
that's even means if you and your family are moving in with us. And I would tell you, like, I don't care what my husband says. I mean, there has to be a time limit now because we did have one that was quite a long time. But I will say there's nothing like living with somebody to really get to know them in just it's been some sweet times. Like our best friends in Colorado were actually clients that lived with us. And at the time, our husbands did not even know each other. They had never met. and then they moved in with us for 2 weeks, and now they're the best of friends. And so, you never know where life is going to take you. I believe in a higher power, and God puts us sometimes in people's places and paths to be that person. And again, that
Yeah.
kind of goes back to the random acts of kindness. Sometimes it's not random, even though it really is. That just happens. I was a phone call. I was our closest real estate agent, and they needed somebody to be able to make it happen.
Oh my
So,
gosh, it's amazing. I love it. I love it. Not telling everybody to let their clients live with them, but
yeah.
just something you could do. So, we are in such a transitional market right now. So, for any of the listeners listening in, like what tip would you give to either a new agent or an agent that's been in the business for a few years right now? Like, where do you think they should be focusing their energy?
I think, but I'm a true relationship person. I really truly believe investing in the people that are on your team. I just did this whole scenario. I have weird brain things at the middle of the night for our agents. It's about building your team and knowing who your team is. And so, like, I think about a football team as like your line. Those are the people that are working this business with you, and they're the day in. So those are sometimes like your lenders, your inspectors, your transaction coordinator, your operations manager. Those are the people that are playing the game. When you win, they win. And when they win, you win. And so those people, you really need to get tight with those people, take care of them in this time, huddle up. But then look at your sideline. Who are those people that are cheering you on, that want you to win? Like, who are those people that really are for you, whether they've used you or not, but they are for you? Because there's a lot of people in the crowd that are watching you but aren't really cheering on you. Don't spend your time trying to get them to love you, but really just love on those core people. Because if you teach them and they see the difference in the value for you, they're going to refer you. They're going to be like, hey, I trust this person, go out and do that. So for me, I'm really going really deep and really small in this time period of just really investing into people and going kind of back to the roots, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I see, unfortunately, a lot of people leaving the business. Some people that were right there at that retirement age are just like, yeah, I don't want to go through another transition time. This is just a thing. I think also just keeping your character up too with other agents makes a difference, because there's a lot of referral business that's going to start happening as people are starting to get out of this business. And so just, keep your integrity up, keep your attitude up, and just really invest in those relationships. Don't underestimate the power of just personal connection.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds so obvious, but it's not obvious to a lot of agents. You know,
Well, I
it,
think we get distracted, right? Like, real estate is one of those markets that people target all the time, oh, buy leads here, do this, do that. And very quickly you can turn around and be so separated from your business and the people because you've been looking at the next greatest thing, that we just sometimes forget the core to the business. It
mm-hmm.
wasn't until this year that I actually tried some new things. Everything that my business was based on was personal relationship. Never bought a lead, never went out and did fairs. It was literally just personal connection, taking care of the person that's in front of me.
Yeah, awesome. All right, I'm going to pivot a little bit. What is the funniest thing that has ever happened to you in real estate? I feel like you definitely have good ones.
I know. First off, I feel like I should have wrote some of these down because I'm over 40, so I forget things. I can't believe that I'll admit this, and some of my agents that were with me. Well, it's actually happened twice in 1 year. I totally ripped my pants, like not just like the whole inseam, totally ripped out. Once I did not know, and I had gone to pick up a sign, I had done a closing, I had went to the bank, and like literally it was not till like, oh, I itched down because I'm like, it's kind of cold, and there's like a huge hole in my pants. And another one, I don't even know if he knows this, but then another one, I was out with a new client. It was like day two. He'd come out for 5 days to find a house. And yeah, I ripped out those pants too, of my whole jeans, and was still trying, and had lunch with them. So it was a man, so it was kind of uncomfortable just trying to hide this obvious. So twice in 1 year my pants ripped out, which has never happened to me ever else in my life.
So funny. Do you
I
carry
love
extra pants now?
No, I still
My
still
husband
don't come prepared.
my husband totally has done that like multiple times. Like
Yeah, I
legitimately,
don't.
it's always in the same spot. And I'm like, these are new jeans. I don't understand what happened.
I'm probably worn out. I probably needed new jeans anyway. And one, I did stop at Kohl's and go pick up a pair of pants. But yeah, I'm trying to think of some other. That's probably like the most like, oh my gosh, how did I do that once or twice? I mean, I've locked brand new client, locked my phone in the house, and we all know that that's how we get in. So then I had to call somebody. I'm glad they didn't fire me. Yeah. Oh, rats in a toilet. That's not funny. That was just gross. But showed up to a house and there's like three dead rats in a toilet when we were doing photos. And great photographers pulled them out for me because,
I
yeah,
was gonna say, who pulled those out?
the photographer did. He's amazing. He's one of my favorites. Shout out
Oh
to
my
Nick's
gosh.
kid that will pull rats out. I
That's
just think, yeah, just you do go through a lot of crazy experiences and funny and hard and and then also the rewarding ones too. It makes up
yeah,
for it. I haven't
I
been
know.
traumatized enough yet, I guess, to get out of the business. So,
I feel like I always tell like any of my new agents, I'm like, okay, that deal was really hard because the next one's gonna be really fun and easy, right? So it's like always like a trade-off, in my opinion, generally. All right, Miss Dawn. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming and joining us on the podcast. If anybody wants to get a hold of you, whether to send you a client in Colorado Springs or maybe you want to talk about Fathom Realty, where can they reach you?
my phone number 719-749-8355. It's my personal cell. I give it to everybody because I do like to be reachable. Definitely can find me on Facebook. Just look me up. My picture's always cuter in person or better on Facebook than in person. But you can't tell it's me. But yeah, Dawn Kuster with a K. Yeah, anytime that people want to chat, nothing in my business is secret either. I am a open book of when it comes to what's done to be successful, any tips or tricks, or just hey, need some encouragement. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm here to help. So
Thanks for coming, Dawn.
absolutely. Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.